What drives the inherent natural instinct for humans to explore the world around them? About 100,000 years ago, a small group of anatomically modern humans, or Homo sapiens, embarked on a journey that would profoundly change the course of human evolution. From several locations on the African continent, we see the first early modern humans begin their migration around the world. Spectacular fossil finds, for example from the Homo and Herto regions of Ethiopia, suggest the earliest anatomically modern humans first appeared almost 300,000 years ago. But it wasn't until much later, almost 200,000 years later, that these humans embarked on a great migration. Why did these pioneering groups of Homo sapiens decide to leave their African homeland? It has been suggested that perhaps a pressing need to expand territories for hunter-gathering may have acted as a stimulus for their exodus. Were these factors at play, or perhaps it was natural human instinct and curiosity to explore new surroundings which stimulated the mass migration? The formation of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, termed the Gate of Tears, which connected East Africa to the Arabian Peninsula, appears to have been centrally important to the geographic expansion of modern humans outside of Africa. Fossil finds from the Narmada Valley in India suggest the presence of Homo sapiens in South Asia during the late Pleistocene times, around 40,000 years ago. This is based primarily on the discovery of the remains of a fossil skull, which shows the advanced morphological features. The earliest fossils of Homo sapiens on the Australian continent are also about 40,000 years old, although it is probable there was a human presence long before this time. The discovery of two fossil humans termed Mungo Man and Mungo Woman in northern Australia has provided an incredible insight into some of the first inhabitants of the vast territory. Both individuals were found 500 metres from each other. Mungo Man was found intentionally buried with his arms placed over his body, which had been sprinkled with red ochre pigment. In Australia, red ochre has been identified to have been used for ceremonies, healing practices, and artistic purposes. Recent studies suggest that Homo sapiens first migrated through mainland Europe at least 45,000 years ago, or perhaps a little earlier. Ancient or fossil DNA extracted from bone fragments from an archaeological site near Ramus in Germany indicates that modern humans were present in northern Europe during this time. In Europe and Western Asia, anatomically modern humans encountered another human species, the Neanderthals. These two groups coexisted for thousands of years. These interactions led to cultural exchanges on several levels. More evidence to support the migration of Homo sapiens to northern Europe includes evidence such as bone pendants and bladed stone tools, like those found in the Mandrin Cave, France, and the Bacho Cairo Cave in Bulgaria. Dated to approximately 45,000 years ago, these pendant artifacts, made from cave bear teeth, indicate early symbolic behaviour and artistic expression among modern humans. During the late Pleistocene, at about 20,000 years ago, the last glacial maximum was nearing an end. However, vast ice sheets still enveloped most of the northern hemisphere. Global sea levels dropped as a consequence of this very extensive ice growth. On the northeastern margin of Asia, the Bering Strait became exposed, with a land bridge forming between modern-day Siberia and Alaska. In search of new possibilities for food and resources, Homo sapiens voyaged across the Great Passage to find a new home on the American continents. Important archaeological locations termed Clovis sites indicate that a very significant migration of anatomically modern humans occurred up to 13,000 years ago across the American plains. These particular sites are characterized by very distinctive tools known as Clovis points. These tools were shaped from stone and are believed to have been multifunctional and acted as projectile points as well as cutting utensils. As the climate warmed, the northern hemisphere ice sheets retreated, resulting in sea level rise and the reflooding of the Bering Strait. This shift in the global climates effectively stranded and isolated this community of early humans in the Americas. It was not until thousands of years later that humans on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean would meet each other again. In that vast interval of time, rich and diverse human cultures developed on both sides of this oceanic divide. It is only by combining archaeological and paleontological evidence with the secrets locked in both modern and ancient fossil human DNA that we can create a more complete picture of the epic migration of Homo sapiens from Africa. This voyage of discovery, which began about 100,000 years ago, was profoundly important in terms of the development of human communities today, but also in terms of shaping the surface of planet Earth. Every person alive today is a descendant of these ancient travellers. So, as we continue to push boundaries and explore new frontiers and new worlds, we must therefore ask ourselves, what does it truly mean to be human?